Morning YouTube, how are you today? Okay, it is Thursday morning and oh my gosh, I think we have rain clouds, but it's hard to tell. Sometimes it's smoke, it gets deceiving, but there's no glare in the sky, so hopefully it's clouds. But the weird thing is when it rains, you can smell the fire in the rain. I don't know how to explain that one, but that is weird, totally weird. There's some, oh my gosh, I hope a lot of people tell their stories about this bushfire season because we've never had one like this before. And personally, I don't like to use the word climate change, as I've said before, because it's bad land management, bad people management. That's all it is. We don't listen to each other. That's why the song Times Are Changing and Imagine are very, very important in a way, because for me, because I was put off a lot of authors and reading when I was young, because I learnt about their lives, and most of their lives weren't too good. If you take John Steinbeck, oh my gosh, he wrote so many good books, but he got persecuted and got told he was a communist and a lot of other things. There's a lot of good people out there that have done a lot of good things over history and have been persecuted solely because a group of bullies haven't wanted that information out or knowledge to be shared, because once you start sharing knowledge uniquely, not commonly, there's no selfish gain, because we're all equal in a unique unity, not a common community. So if we look at, to tidy up what I was saying before, I think there's a selfish reason too to these videos in a way, because if you notice on my channel, there's a video I did a couple of years back where I did last day, if this was the last day of my earth. It was when I got told that pretty much your aneurysm and your brain injury is going to grow anyway. So, but I turned around and said, no, it's not. Because I made a promise when I gave birth. My children didn't have a choice to be born into this world. And I was very naive, and I thought we had to advance a little bit more than what we have. And I don't want to leave them in this mess. And hopefully by doing these videos, I'm letting a little bit of my thoughts out, which hopefully will help heal my damage inside my head. I know some doctors will agree with me, some don't, but as far as I'm concerned, I haven't got any sicker over the last year, so that's good. So let's not talk about me anymore. Let's talk about these two songs and life. So if you look at the environment as a whole in the Western world, you had the baby boomers generation, and then you had the generation before that. And it's quite funny if you go and have a look at YouTube and you go around and you have a look at the old videos of how a perfect family should be back in the 1950s, 1960s, you could sort of understand the teenagers of that generation rebelling to a degree, because I've raised 4 children and there's nowhere in the world you can have a family life as structured and perfect as that. There's always going to be problems. I think when it comes to raising children and families, when I was a teenager, I was often told that don't work with your family. As soon as you get old enough, leave your family in a way and look after yourself, because you can choose your friends but you can't choose your family. And in a way that's sad, because it goes against times are changing, sort of, but it fits in with Imagine, because as a whole, because we sort of alienate each other in a way by looking after ourselves, and we lose that community sense, because for me, we need to see where we fit in the community first, and then, in a way, build ourselves around that, because you can't avoid a community, and you can't, as history shows, you can't have a structured life. You need the downfalls of life to teach you how to grow. Like with children, you can give your children everything and not want them to grow up with the pains that you grew up, but by doing that, you're not teaching them how to live through the hardships or see how other people live through hardships, because in a way, those hardships make us into a person. So when you look at those two songs as a sense of being some sort of action in life, I don't look at Times Are Changing as a protest song. I look at it as simply use your gift of life to bring life unto each other, where Imagine is more like a protest song, stop doing things and just look after yourself and talk or blame or point the finger. And we've gotten it ourselves, and musicians should never ever ever get blamed for drug taking or alcohol, because rock and roll is not about drugs. It's not about alcohol. That's about hiding. You hide yourself. Music is about expressing yourself. Whatever musicians do in their personal life to hide away from the hurts is what they do, and they go through that and they live through that, and some of them survive, some of them not. And by surviving the hardships, they're able to teach us more, like Bob Dylan in his most recent song, Times Have Changed. If you look at the difference, thank God Bob Dylan seems some sort of good in his work, because in a way we've wrapped ourselves up still, in a sense that if our children don't do what they're told, they need to be punished or fear. And instead of looking at a God or religion, we trust in money. And that's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Because we're losing so much. Like a homeless person on the street could have so much to teach us. So I'm nearly running out of time, so I've got about 2 minutes to conclude. So to put a shining light on Times Are Changing, I believe times have changed to a degree, because if you look at how different it is from my children when they grew up to when I grew up, it was so boxed in, and now they've got such a more open world to seek and find. It's just more confusing, because us adults aren't expressing what true love is. We're more showing what lust is in all forms. And I think that's what we need to do. We need to all humble ourselves to bring light to those songs. More light to Times Are Changing. And help each other grow in a community. Like in Australia after these bushfires, I hope we can learn to listen to each other and not just play follow the leader. Because that's what Times Are Changing is about, is helping each other, lead each other into a better future. Not imagine a better future, actually working together. And that's the beauty of that song. And the sadness of that song is, for me, on a big worldly scale, it doesn't look like we're doing much working together. But when you look at individually, we all got suffering, we've all got hardships in our life, and we're all boxed in by that. So we need to sacrifice a little bit of our time to find out what our communities need and stop going to war with other countries and help each other grow, because our way of life is not good. You just have to go back through history and see how much we're deteriorating. And I think now it's a time when we really need to pull together and use all our knowledge and use all our information of the last 100 years as a modern society and see how we can make it better, instead of playing a stupid blame game and waiting for a leader or someone to pop up and make things better, because one person can't do that. One person can never do that. It can only take a team of people. It takes a team of bullies to destroy each other and go to war, so it will take a team of people to want peace and to actually start living it, and then hopefully people can follow it. So for me, times are changing and so much better. I've missed so much out on those two songs, but the Times Are Changing, the album practically covers every social problem in the world from the day we were born to now. So I hope you have a good day, and that's it for Times Are Changing Imagine. And I'd love to hear what you choose, which song is better. And these are my thoughts only, by the way. And I love my little shadow. And I think I'm using a new light. My phone is a light, flashlight, because I've got dark eyes. I'm sick of looking at my dark eyes in a way, but I don't like the light. We need to balance the light and the darkness, I think. So have a good day, YouTube, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. As we press stop, and I've got to find the stop button.